Okay, hi guys. Gonna look at Nordic Fjords number 4. This one is the easy one. Now, don't confuse the two holes. The next one, Nordic Fjords 7, I believe, looks a lot like this hole. I remember when this tour first came out, I thought it was the same hole for a little while. It was kind of funny because they're two different shots completely. And so decipher the two of them. Actually, while we're here, we'll look at what the difference is. You see the two pads on the right, and if we go to Nordic Fjords number 7, see there's only the one pad on the right. So the two holes look very, very similar, but they play a lot differently. Okay, so back to number 4. Okay, so in my opinion, the way that the hole should, almost always be played is is from this spot here. Okay, now what you're trying to do is you're just going to use, between 1 and 2 backspin. Normal is about 2, and you're with a sniper, you're going to see your ball guide go past the hole, and it's going to come back towards the hole. The further up you get on the hill in the back, okay, the further or it's going to come, or the closer it's going to come to the hole, because the higher up the hill, the more roll you're going to get coming back. Okay, so I would say the average shot here is about 1.8 yards from the hole. Mostly everyone you're going to play plays the hole that way, and as long as you don't leave it left, or don't go too far. It's a pretty safe shot to about that 1.2 to 1.8 sort of yard distance. When you play the hole differently is if your opponent hits a good shot. So playing this shot, you can sometimes get to the 1.2 range. I've had it even sometimes to a 0.5, and that's when and we'll talk about that, like how to get it closer. So if your opponent hits that good shot, okay, and you're going up next, you got to be within that. And the chances of hitting the point 0.5 shot aren't the greatest. So if your opponent does hit that shot, there's this option here, okay, on this pad. And what you're trying to do is with some backspin, try and backspin it off this and then back towards the hole. And the backspin sort of gives you that momentum you need to get closer to the hole. And the other shot, but also playing from that spot over here, is you don't want to go after the hole, because you do want to play it up and backspin it back down. You're not going to have a whole bunch of luck trying to like just go at the hole. The way to go at the hole is sort of from this spot as well, and to sniper it and to bounce it here and to just go right after the hole. I've holed it a couple times doing that. Especially with the proper winds, like if you had a wind, say, like in this direction, right, where you just play that wind effect and try and let the bounce, or the roll up into the hole area, and that's a good shot. But if I was going first on the hole, I always just want to put the pressure on them, hit it up the hill, get it down, put it close, and let them beat you. Okay. But if you practice enough and you get good at these other shots, you get closer to the hole when you hit them right. So it's sort of a yin yang thing. But this shot from here and then up the hill is the safe route, and will win you the hole most of the times. So let's go to the videos. But by the way, this hole I always play. It's usually around the medium mark. Oops. And plus 10. Okay, so this is a plus 10 hole with wind arrow. Okay, and it always seems so. If always every shot, you remember, like if that's your min line and that's your max line, right? You got to just look at, are you pulling it towards the max where you have to add a little bit from medium? Are you pulling it back towards minimum where you'll be a little bit less than medium? And that's what you got to work on. And on this hole too, if you're pulling into this water area or into this water area, you have to remember when you're pulling into the lower ground, to add a little bit of power, like to push up towards the hole after your adjustment. So and that's an important point. Okay, so we'll get rid of that and we'll come back here after. So let's look at some of the shots here. So see, I'm stretching out to see where am I in my min and my max. Okay, so my guy probably got close here. And so that's when I would go after it. So you can see, you know, I've got the full backspin because I want the full effect of the ball to come down. Watch with full backspin if you have some headwind though, because you're not gonna, you know. So see where I'm aiming. I'm aiming right at that rough line because I know the wind effect when it bounces is gonna bounce left for me, right? And I'm just trying to get enough spin off that hill to come back towards the hole. So, you know, for me to be playing the shot, my guy was probably, you know, hit the good shot and, you know, and trying to go after it this way. So you can see how much left that came. I was aimed way up the hill, you know, and this probably was a losing shot. It looks to me like that would have been the 2-yard range, sort of. And the reason for that is I didn't go up the hill enough, okay? So here's the next one, you know, and this is his shot. Okay, so let's look at his shot and so he's playing the safe shot. You know, it's always good to, when your opponents hit good shots, to go into the, you know, go into the replay. See, he hit a nice shot here. See how he's nice and high? So he's going to get that nice roll down to the green, or to the pin. And see, he's real tight there. That's probably about a 0.8, 0.7. So, you know, that's why I would have hit this shot, is because he hit the good shot. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So here we have a cat. Okay, so you can see I'm stretching out my thing to see where am I in the mid part here, you know, and I'm not sure why. You know, I think I changed over, yeah, so for some reason I changed over this side and didn't like it. So we'll take a look at it. So remember last time I played that full backspin? See how the wind is in my face? So look how overplayed I am. I only played about 4 backspin, okay? And watch when this ball comes in here. See, and that's the wind effect, right? Because the bounce is going to get compressed. See how far before that ball went? Well, it's not going there. See, and I got that nice kick up to the top. So we learned something from the first time. Look how tight that is. That's a real nice shot. So, playing that wind effect and trusting, even though my ball guide, we'll take another quick look here. My ball guide's going way past the hole here. So we know, what was that, 3 backspin only? So look at that, yeah, and it wasn't even 3, like 2 3/4, and you can see my ball guide going well through, right? And just trusting that wind effect is gonna push us right back towards us. You're not gonna get the big bounce. So see here, had that ball just really dies on the bounce. And, we lined it up right and came down that hill nice. Okay, so next. Okay, so we can see here, so we're +10 with the wind arrow, right? And don't let the rings worry you. Like, the mid line is 13.4. I probably should play this about maybe even 14. Okay, so, and we're also going back down in the water. Okay, so with the headwind, we should play about 1.5 backspin, and everything else about 2-ish. Okay, so I could tell right away that I didn't pull that enough. See, I would have been a little worried maybe. I was going down into the lower ground, and see how back further in the pad I was? So I didn't get that roll right up the hill. I mean, it's still an okay shot, but this would be a losing shot, a lot of the time. So, I just probably got a little worried. The guy might have hit a bad shot, and I just know I just need to get it up there. So, anyway, next. If your guy hits a bad shot, you're just going to put it past the hole and let it roll to a couple yards. We're not worried about that 1 yard. But when you're up first, especially, you got to go after it. So you can see here, like, I only played 1 backspin because of that heavy wind. Okay. And, you know, I can see my ball guide getting up to the end. So here you can see, you know, the big adjustment. And now watch here. So because I went down into lower ground, see that pull up? I pulled up at least a ring there, right? Because I know going into the lower ground, I got to pull up towards the hole. And not further out, but up. So see how that came in nice? You know, I just trusted the wind is going to push it over to the right for me. You know, and that's a pretty decent, that's your average shot, I would say. That's probably like your 1.8 to 2 shot. And that's sort of an average shot on this hole. So here's another one, you know, stretching out, where's my min, where's my max? Because on your, you know, the more power on your ball, the more out to the min or max you're going to be. Okay, so see, aiming up top of that hill again, and just we're going to let the wind just do the work for us. You don't need to play curl. Only if you've got the big right to left wind, then you're going to play curl. And you play quite a bit of curl when you do it. You got to get that left to right action on the bounce. Okay, so that's a good shot. That's probably, you know, a 1.5. So that'll win most of the time. So we can, you know, most of these shots you're going to see, it's just the same shot. So I would say in the headwind, you know, between 1 and 1.5, you know, oh, this is one that I'm going after it now. Okay, so the guy was probably close on me, right? And you can see now that I was just going after it. So my ball guide went past the hole and left of the hole. See this? Right? So I'm going to let that wind effect, you know, take over. So, you know, I know it's going to kick right on me, and I know it's going to compress a little bit, that ball guide, you know. Okay, so see, I shouldn't have played curl there. See, I played curl and it was no good. This shot ended up being okay, but you know, that's not a good shot. I should not have played curl on that shot. And you see what happened when I did. I went way too far right. So, you know, don't be worried like I was there about just let the wind take over. You know, it would have kicked my ball over there. Some of these videos are a little older, I can tell. Okay, so this is this right to left wind. Okay, so you can see I'm max right. You know, this one played 2 backspin. I probably should have played 1.5. If I was to do that now, I would have played, you know, less backspin. You can see I came down into a lower ground and didn't pull up. So, you know, again, this is sloppy, but that's what we're here to learn. You know, not a bad landing spot, but it was a little back. And see, I didn't get up the hill, right? So, because I didn't give it that push up at the end. So, still not a bad shot, but, you know, not the greatest. So here we are with the big 13 wind now. So see, this is the good wind for this shot because the wind effect is going to take over for you. And you can play the max backspin and try and get that action down the hill. So see, I'm playing actually even a touch of right curl to compensate. I don't want to kick too far left like we did earlier, right? And that came in real nice. So we offset the wind nice there. This is you know, a decent shot. So you can see that left shot up the hill is a lot more consistent though. You know, unless you got to hit the perfect shot when you play from the right path. that came in nice. And you get that nice backspin, but still, not as good as like when I backspinned it off the top of that hill was a lot closer. That's probably the best shot yet. And you're not ever getting a hole in one from these shots, by the way. You're just going to get close. The only hole in one shot is to go right at the hole. You're never getting the hole in one from the roll down. I've never seen it. It just doesn't, you just don't get far enough. Okay, so you can see this, see how I'm playing lower because I know that wind effect is going to push me out, hopefully push me up to the top of that hill. And what you want to make sure is you don't get caught up in the top of that hill. If you roll up to the fringe, you're going to stick there. So sometimes it's, a yin-yang thing. To get up higher gets you closer, but you can get stuck in that fringe if you hit it. So still didn't quite get high enough there, but a pretty good shot. And you can also see from this left side that you get a little closer. And what I've noticed playing this hole lately, what I've been trying to mess around with is aiming on the left, way more left than normal, and playing it with some curl. So let's take a look again here. So the shot that I've been trying lately is bouncing it here, and no matter what my wind is aiming sort of more on this side and trying to play it with curl to get a round effect sort of, because I've noticed from this left side that it rolls in closer, or if you get right into this right side, it rolls in closer. But the straight down shot doesn't get as close. I mean, they all get close, but not as close. Okay, so again, we play this somewhere in the mid-range, plus 10 with the wind arrow. Okay, with arrow. Okay, and then it just depends. Like on a headwind, you're going to be pulling it out more, so you probably play it a little bit more than mid. And when you're pulling back in a tailwind, you're pulling back towards minimum, so it takes a little bit off it. But that's just experience stuff. When you should always be looking at where's my min, where's my max before your shots. And I hope this helps. We'll get you on the next one.